All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, you're doing better than we're doing out here on the Pacific Northwest of the United States, man. Whew. Today is Saturday, September 12th, 2020. I'm Darkside Phil. And, man, we are in the midst of the worst outbreak of wildfires that I think is in recent memory. There are wildfires burning in California. There are wildfires burning in Oregon. There are wildfires burning in Washington State, where I live. People are being evacuated in masses. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people are having to abandon their homes because of the danger of fire. And it is so bad out here that we have gotten an advisory from all of our local health officials to stay indoors. Do not open the windows or doors because the air quality outside is so bad. It's pure smoke. That's how fucking bad it is. Yeah, like looking outside right now, it's like seriously apocalyptic looking out there. Like no lie. The air itself is yellowish gray. It looks like fog, but it's not. It's actual smoke. It smells. It actually smells terrible out there. And because of this, there's no light coming through. It just looks like everything's a haze. It looks like one of these apocalyptic shows or video games you would play. It's bad out there. I woke up. I was like, is it morning? I couldn't tell. I have to have every room in my house has lights on. Normally we wouldn't, because you'd have daylight, but there's really no daylight today to speak of. You know, we got everything shut up. We have 2 air conditioners. And the thing is, it cooled down to the point where we really don't need them. But we've got to keep them running because they have air filters in them. And they're filtering out the smoke out of the air. But even then, like right now, I can tell you, in my room, it looks hazy. I actually don't know if you can see it on camera. Let's see here. Oh, my camera's tiny. Hold on a second. My camera's like microscopic here. Let me move this over and blow this up. But it's bad, man. This is the worst I've ever seen. Now, I've lived here for 6 years. I moved here the summer of 2014. And in the 6 years I've been here, I've never seen wildfires this bad. You know, from what I understand, it's a unique combination of factors. It's weather, it's climate change, it's all kinds of stuff going on right now that's causing this. Is that about the normal size for my camera? I'd say, I think it is, right? Or do I usually have it a little bit bigger? I can't really tell. I can't remember. All right, it basically looks normal here. But it's bad. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm in my office and it looks hazy in my office because this is the air that we have to breathe right now. Now, I'm sure in the house it's better quality than it is outside, but it's bad, man. And from all the news reports, they're saying that it's going to be like this for at least 24 hours. We're going to be in this cloud of fucking smoke. They even said if you have respiratory illness, do not dare go outside or open your windows. And if you work outdoors, you have to wear a filtration mask because you're going to have issues breathing. It's that bad. Damn. You know? Crazy. And, you know, it's a combination of factors. You know, obviously, the morons out there who fucking end up lighting these fires don't help. You know, these crazy-ass people who are going and lighting fires. I think they caught like 4 of them in California yesterday. They caught one of them in Washington here the other day. People just lighting fires for no fucking reason. They're out of their minds. You know, they're out of there going crazy. Gender reveal parties. Yes, what a great time. Pacific Northwest of the United States, the most arid time of the year. Everything is dry and in danger of lighting on fire. Let's do a gender reveal party in the middle of the forest. You fucking idiot. Unreal, man. It's just crazy. But it's all combination of factors. You know, it's definitely climate change, too. You know, yes, we have wildfires every year, but we never had them this bad. So, is it going to be like this every year now? Is it actually going to be so bad that maybe, and I hate to say it, but there may be parts of these states where people usually would live, and they're not going to be able to live there anymore Because now every year they're going to get wildfires there. And so what's the point of rebuilding if you're just going to keep burning down every year, right? It's fucked up to think about, but this is what happens with climate change. Same thing with hurricanes and everything. If you live in an area that's constantly blasted by a hurricane, and every year your everything gets destroyed, right? You either got to adapt or move. And I think that's the situation that we're kind of seeing here, is that this is the worst possible scenario. We got firefighters out here working around the clock trying to do what they can, but what can you do when literally 3 states are on fire right now? Literally half of the states. It's crazy. Now, I personally, because I know people are asking me in the stream chat, I'm okay. Number one, I don't live in the middle of the woods, okay? I live in a suburb, very highly populated, lots of buildings. Yes, there's trees around, but it's not a heavily forested area. In addition, I live in a very elevated area. I actually live at a higher elevation than most people around here. So I'm actually a little lucky because I don't think the smoke here actually is as bad as it must be in other places. I've actually heard that if you go down into like lower elevation valleys and stuff, it's like just you can't even. It's like you know, muck, like trying to breathe actual smoke inhalation coming in from a fire in your face. So this is not good, man. This is not good. If you live in the Pacific Northwest, please heed the warnings, man. Please heed the warnings. Be safe, you know. Do what you can to stay indoors and don't go outside unless you have to. You know, my wife has to go to work today. Luckily, she works about a block away. So, she won't be outside for long, and that's a good thing. But, man, it is bad. Bad, bad, bad. The worst I've ever seen. Terrible. Okay? So I'll do, you know, I'm lucky. As you guys know, I work from home. I get to stream with you guys every day. I don't have to go out in this. If you're going out in this, please be safe, man. Alright, so anyway, I know, what a year. What a fucking year this has been. It's insanity. Fucking COVID, you know, nationwide protests and riots, and now this. Like, what the fuck is next? When do the aliens land? Fuck. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what we're doing today, and then we'll talk about some really good, positive gaming news, finally. Finally! Okay, so what are we doing today? Today is a full day of fun streaming, double stream day. The first stream, the continuation of Marvel's Avengers. So far, we've played this game twice, so we're roughly around 7 hours in. Maybe a little longer because my first stream was an extended stream. We're playing with Black Widow. Kamala Khan, also known as Ms. Marvel, has been kidnapped by AIM. And Black Widow is attempting to rescue her. So we're playing as Black Widow in an AIM stronghold, trying to fight off AIM and rescue Kamala. We've unlocked Hulk, Iron Man, and Black Widow so far. Those are the 3 Avengers we've got unlocked and we're playing with. Obviously, there's 2 more that we haven't gotten to yet. Thor and Captain America. So we'll see what happens in the game and see when we unlock them. And go from there. But I don't know how much longer is in the game. The reports were that the story is only about 15 hours long. And if I'm roughly around 7 to 8 hours in, it means that I'm basically about halfway or more through it. So I would assume today and probably one more stream is going to wrap up the story of Avengers. So probably today and then Monday we'll probably be wrapping up the game. Okay? So let's see what happens. Obviously, if we do wrap it up good, you know, I don't know what is available besides multiplayer co-op, grindy style gameplay. You know, they promoted and touted this game as a games as a service game, a game that has endless content. Like, that's great, but if all you're doing is fighting generic enemies, it doesn't really matter, does it? You know, there's some people who like that. You know, I'm not all about that, and you guys know that. So we'll see. Okay. What? Yorkman says, no TF, there's 3 left, shaking my damn head. What are you talking about? Huh? What? I don't know. You confused me. Anyway, so, that's today's main stream. We'll see how far we can get in Avengers and chill and hang out and enjoy the game. Okay? Later tonight, the late night stream is the return of Fall Guys. I'm doing a fun Fall Guys stream tonight. 2 hours of survival elimination fun. Hope you guys will join me for that later tonight, okay? I know it's been a while. It's been over a week since I played Fall Guys. I know you guys really like to watch me play Fall Guys. Guess we'll see what's available, any new outfits or whatever. It should be fun. Then tomorrow. Tomorrow is potentially the final stream of Tony Hawk, all right? Because if you've been watching the playthrough, you know that yesterday I completed Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, and I moved into Pro Skater 2. And yes, it is correct. I actually did it legit. I beat it, and I moved into the next game. It's not like, oh, I couldn't do it and I skipped it. I actually completed Pro Skater 1, and I moved into Part 2. So pretty cool that I was able to do that. Some people didn't think I was going to be able to. I didn't think I was going to be able to, but I've surprised myself. I've surprised myself. So I hope you guys will join me for that. Tomorrow, the potential conclusion. I think we're on the 4th stage of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. So doing a major stream, I'll probably wrap it up. Unless for some reason I cannot wrap it up. You know, I'm stuck and I can't beat something. But I think I'm going to be able to. Okay. Well, that is correct. Long forward weapons is clumsily finished. Well, it was definitely clumsily. I'm not good at the game, but I managed to do it somehow. By hook or by crook, I finished the game. Okay, tomorrow night, after a long hiatus, we're returning to Fire Emblem Three Houses for the late night stream tomorrow night. Okay, it hasn't been, it's been like 2-3 weeks since I played this game. We're finally going back to it this Sunday night, and we'll see how far we are. I don't even remember at this point what the hell we were even doing. The last time I played it, someone told me I could actually beat it in about 10 to 15 hours. But at this rate, I don't know. I guess we'll see, okay? Alright, then on Monday, it will be the potential conclusion of Avengers, depending on, you know, how much is actually left, but probably the end. And then Monday night, Batman Arkham City, okay? Tuesday, I'm off. That's my day off for streaming this week. And hopefully the freaking smoke will be out of here and I'll be able to have a day out with my wife. We got a lot of shit to do this week. I was actually looking at the list of stuff we need to do. I was like, oh my God, we got to go to the garbage dump. We got to go to Costco. We got to do this. We got to do that. Like, oh, this is going to be a very busy day for us this week. Not like last week. Last week we stayed home and cleaned the house, and that's how I rearranged the office. This week we're going to be out the whole day. So, all right. And then, ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday, as I return to stream, it is a big, ginormous, epic, eventful day. Because, ladies and gentlemen, finally on Wednesday, it's time for Sony to announce the PlayStation 5. Or so we think. I mean, you would think logically. Sony announced this morning, we're doing an event on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. It's a 40-minute long event. You would think the purpose of the event is to explain the frickin' PS5. They didn't outright say that, but man, would it be stupid if they didn't, right? You know, Xbox, not that Xbox had intended it, but Xbox already had all their information leaked, and therefore they had to make public the 2 models of their console, the pricing, the features, and that it would be available for pre-order on September 22nd, right? So that being said, Sony, now it's their move. We've been waiting. Like, when the frick are they going to say something? And finally they said, okay, it's going to be this Wednesday. So chances are, Wednesday is the big day, all right, where they're going to announce PS5 officially with the pricing, the models, and the pre-order date, okay? Hopefully. I seriously hope. Because we already know the specs. We already know the games. We just need the info on the consoles. That's it. So I hope we get it, okay? Now, here's the thing. I will be covering this live. Here's how we're going to do it. First, we're going to do a pre-stream like we usually do. Then we're going to do a pre-stream, well, a pre-show hype session where we're just going to chill and talk for a little bit, probably about an hour before the Sony event. And we're going to speculate. What do you think about the pricing? What do you think about a release date? What do you think about the features? This and that. We're going to talk, basically, hype it up, which is exactly what we did a few months ago, if you remember, when they did their very first Sony event to announce the PS5. So we're going to be doing the same thing, okay? Then we're going to watch the event together live. I'm going to host it here on my channel. We're going to watch it live. I'm going to be taking notes. And then immediately following the end of the event, I'm going to be doing a recap reactions stream to let you know in summary what they said and let you know my thoughts. Okay? Then, since it sounds like we're going to have extra time, because if that's, let's say the event's an hour, it ends at 2, I do my recap reactions, we're done by 3. Well, now the stream usually goes till 4, so we'll switch over and likely, I will be doing, like some Fall Guys or something, continuing on, alright? So that's what we'll do. We're going to be doing, Fall Guys probably, after that ends, just to have some gameplay on that stream, okay? Alright, then on Wednesday night, sorry, stretching, a big stretch. Wednesday night will be up in the air, and here's why. Because depending on if I finished Avengers or I finished Tony Hawk, that's actually going to determine what I do Wednesday night, okay? If I haven't finished either of the games, then one of those will be Wednesday night, okay, to try to finish it up. If I finished both, then we're wide open. I mean, I could do some Batman. I could do some Fire Emblem. Basically, we're wide open with possibilities for Wednesday night. So I can't really promise you guys yet what I'm doing Wednesday night until we see what happens over this weekend with Avengers and Tony Hawk. But there will be some gameplay on Wednesday night, okay? Thursday, again, highly dependent on if we finished Avengers or Tony Hawk yet. But if I've beaten both of those games, then Thursday, the main stream will actually be Batman, okay? I'll do an actual main stream of Batman. And then Thursday night is going to be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session. Now you may be saying, why is that going to be Thursday night? Isn't that usually on Friday? Yes, but this coming week is a double release week. 2 new releases coming up. We've got WWE 2K Battlegrounds, the new WWE combat game with cartoony graphics and wild moves and animations. And we've got the Crysis remaster / remake / whatever the fuck you want to call it for modern consoles. So with those 2 games both coming out on Friday, that's going to be the whole day, okay? So that's why Thursday is going to probably be Batman and Street Fighter. Friday will probably be WWE 2K Battlegrounds and Crysis. Saturday as well will probably be both games, all right? And then more than likely Sunday, Monday will be one of those games on the main stream, and then we'll do different stuff for the night stream. Maybe one day we'll do Fall Guys. Maybe one day we'll do Fire Emblem or Batman. We got to see what happens, okay? So, let me recap everything. Today, Avengers, and then tonight, Fall Guys, okay? Tomorrow, Tony Hawk and the potential end of Tony Hawk, and Fire Emblem. Monday, the potential conclusion of Avengers, and Batman at night. Tuesday, I'm off. Wednesday, the Sony reveal event at 1 p.m., but we'll do some pre-hype before it, and then we'll do my recap reactions after it, and then Fall Guys. Wednesday night, up in the air, because it depends on if we've beaten Avengers or Tony Hawk, so if not, one of those, but if we have, it'll be a random night stream of something, okay? Thursday, probably Batman on the main stream, and then Street Fighter on the late stream. Friday and Saturday, double new release days with WWE 2K Battlegrounds and Crysis Remake, and then Sunday, Monday will be each one of those games paired with something at night. So that's a pretty exciting week there. It's a good mix of a lot of different stuff. Ongoing playthroughs, concluding playthroughs, new playthroughs, the Sony announcement. It's going to be hype. It's definitely going to be a hype week. Like I said, we definitely have hit the hardcore gaming season now. And, full speed ahead with all this stuff. Good stuff, right? Exciting stuff. So very nice. A couple quick things, guys. First of all, please continue to nominate games for the upcoming Rageathon at the end of this month. I haven't set the date yet for it, but within the next few days, probably around the middle of the month, I'm going to take a look at the games you've nominated. I'm going to tally it up, and I'm going to figure out which games I'm going to select for this Rageathon event, and I'm going to set the date for it, so you guys know exactly when to expect it. It should be a really fun marathon event. I haven't done a gaming marathon like this in a while, so it should be pretty exciting, all right? So please continue to nominate. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, we have hit both the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 subscriber goals for this month so far. So if you're not aware, all right, a few things. First of all, that means there's going to be a Halloween marathon event where we're going to be doing a variety of games, hopefully some horror games, but a variety of games, and I'll be dressed up in costume on Halloween. Number 2, that means you guys are going to be able to vote on the category of Halloween costume that I will be wearing this year. Pretty neat. Previous years, there's been categories such as comic book character, video game character, pop culture icon, Phil's personal choice, etc. And I've dressed up as many different things over the years, including Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2, Bob Ross the painter and pop culture icon, a Ghostbuster, Deadpool, and of course, who can forget last year, Yoshi, right? So, it's always something wild and different and fun, and I'm excited to see what I end up being this year. Not sure yet, but all that's coming up. Pretty exciting, right? Now, you may notice there's still another subscriber goal on the screen. That's correct. And we're actually ridiculously close to hitting it. So what is the Tier 3 subscriber goal for September? I'll tell you what it is. If we hit the Tier 3 subscriber goal of 775 subs this month, DSP Tries It will continue and have a very special episode on Halloween. Now you may say, well, wait a minute. What's going on with DSP Tries It? Because wasn't that something you were doing during the Vestivals? That's correct. When we still had an ongoing vest streak, which lasted almost 6 months, every 50 vest count, I was doing a Vestival celebration. Well, sadly, the vest streak ended on Monday, okay? Which is perfectly fine. I knew it was coming, and, knew eventually it had to end. And when it ended, the Vestivals ended with it. But people were already upset. They were like, oh, man, this means to end the DSP Tries It. We really liked it coming back this year. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do DSP Tries It as a special thing for sub goals during special events. So, since we're doing a Halloween event, it makes sense. Let's do a DSP Tries It during it, right? But for that to happen, we need to hit the sub goal. Okay? So we're close. We are close. Very close. Only about 15 subs away. I don't know if we've gone up or down here because I've seen some people have subbed, but also I think that some subs expired here on the pre-stream. So we'll see, but we're very close. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, what on earth are you waiting for? You get so many benefits, including a cool channel crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. You also get over 40 emotes. Some of the most emotes you'll get on any channel here on Twitch, because a couple years ago someone gifted me something like 500 tier 3 subs, which earned me so many freaking spots for emotes that I have more emotes than most streamers, okay? And when I go on ad breaks, okay? When I go on ad breaks, you will not have to watch advertisements if you are subscribed to the channel. So, please consider subbing this month. They're doing a promotion here on Twitch, by the way. If you've never been subbed before, or if you had a gifted sub that expired and you want to extend it, it's 20% off. If you want to do a 3-month prepaid sub, it's 25% off. And if you want to do a 6-month prepaid sub, it's 30% off. Okay? So some special discounts they're running this month only here on Twitch. So, please consider subscribing if you're not subbed. And in addition, maybe you want to support the channel. A lot of people have gifted subs over the last couple of weeks to help support the channel. I appreciate that very much. You want to help out a friend, or you just want to give some random subs to random viewers, I'm sure they'll be grateful. All right? So we're almost there to the tier 3 sub goal. Please consider subbing if you can. Okay. One quick reminder before we get to shoutouts. Things mixed up this week and changed since the Vestival is over, the Vest Streak. That means we now have new things in effect. For tips goals, if we raise $50 in tips on today's stream, I will put on the Gunner glasses. If we hit the tips goal of $100, I will put on a vest. Now, the way we're doing it with the vests is, basically, the vests that are eligible are the vests that I did not wear yesterday. Yesterday, incidentally, I wore 2 vests. I wore the red vest, and then I wore the beige vest. So that means today, the blue, the platinum, the gray, and the camo vests are eligible to be worn today if we hit the tips goal. All right? So please consider tipping. Helps me out, helps the channel, supports the channel, and just being very matter of fact, it's the way that I'm going to afford the upcoming console releases and all the new games coming out in the next few months. Is a crazy amount of them. Okay? So please consider tipping if you'd like to support the channel. And if we hit the tips goal, the vest goes on when we hit it. Now, I really haven't come up with a good tier kind of 3 tip skull. Tier 1 would be the gunner glasses. Tier 2, the vest. I don't really know what a tier 3 should be. The only thing I came up with was, as stupid as this sounds, my chair can rotate now, which it never could before. So I would spin in place like an idiot and make myself dizzy and then try to play a game if we hit the tip skull. So far, since I instituted this on Wednesday, we've only done it once, and it was, hold on, I got distracted because someone tipped. I started reading the tip and I lost my train of thought. Let's do this again. So far, we've only hit that once, and it was kind of silly. I spun around 10 times, and then I couldn't stop my body from spinning because I was so dizzy. But after that, it hasn't happened again. So obviously, I don't really think that I'm as silly as I think it is. I don't think people are really too incentivized to do it. So I guess we'll see if we can come up with a better goal. The only thing people will come up is put on the cowboy hat and put on a Sonic hat or put on the Yoshi hats, which I keep telling people, no, we're not doing that. Those things are intrusive to the stream and to gameplay. You know, I can't. It's hard for me to concentrate on the game. If you put something on your head, your body heats up. And doing that, it's one thing if I was doing a special event like a Halloween event. It's another thing to just do it every day on stream. I don't think that would be very healthy for me. And you can't put a hat on when you're wearing headphones. You just can't. So, we're not doing that. Okay? Got to figure out what else we want to do. I'm not sure what we want to do. We got to think about it. Okay? But for now, the tier 3 is spinning in the chair like an asshole, getting dizzy and playing games. And if you want me to spin and blow bubbles, I'll blow bubbles. There you go. I know it's stupid. I haven't come up with anything better. All right? Okay. All right, guys. Let's now get to shoutouts. So, we start off with Harley Quinn, who resubscribed for 2 months, 3 months total, and says, hey, all. Hello, Harley. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the channel support. I appreciate that. Retro Jim is the first cheerer of the day with the 50-bit cheer. He says, are you excited for Fall Guys tonight? I am. Fall Guys is very fun, and I'll be honest, if I play it in longer than 2-hour segments, it gets a little repetitive and boring. But playing it as a night stream, it's a perfect amount of gameplay, in my opinion. It's always funny, and it's very suspenseful to see if I can get down to the wire and win matches. It's good. It's a good time. I'm looking forward to Fall Guys tonight, for sure. And by the way, for the first time since I've ever played Fall Guys, there will be no vest streak to worry about. So there won't be people absolutely freaking out about a vest streak tonight. We'll just be able to focus on the gameplay, which is great. Let's see here. What on earth? Listen to this. Fire tipped me $1 and says, do you think negative and harmful representations of clowns in popular media is harmful to the noble profession and those who practice it? I wouldn't know. I don't know much about the actual profession of being a clown. I don't even know the viability of it in the modern era, especially now with COVID and everything. It may be outdated and not exist anymore, But, I mean, you're certainly right. When you take a look at how the media portrays clowns, it's always like, now it's a horror character or a mass murderer or some, American Horror Story has a killer clown. The movie. Like, can you think of a positive representation of a clown in the last 5 years? No. I actually can't. So, I think you're actually right in your assessment here. A lot of people also say they're creeped out and freaked out by clowns. They think that's scary. So, I don't know. I can't answer the question, but that's my take on it. Golden Nobles resubscribed for 6 months in a row, 19 total. Thank you, Golden Nobles, for the ongoing support, man. I appreciate that. Golden Colts, excuse me. Golden Colts did a video with cheer. He said, I got that fancy American cheese you recommended that comes sliced in the bag and used it to make homemade sausage egg McMuffins this morning. Very good shit. You mean the deli style cheese, the real shit, not Kraft singles. Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. Someone was asking about Kraft singles and if it was real cheese. The answer is no, it's not. Those Kraft singles actually cannot be called cheese legally because it doesn't have enough cheese in it to be called cheese. It's mostly oil. If you actually take one of those pieces of Kraft singles and you put it in a frying pan, it'll turn into like a pool of fucking oil. It's disgusting. It's really nasty. So I started getting the better cheeses. They call it deli style cheese, and it actually will say on it real American cheese. It's real cheese. Okay, it's a little more expensive. it's definitely worth getting. Okay? So, glad to hear you guys. Sausage egg McMuffins. That sounds good. Now, it's not a McMuffin, by the way. It's not from McDonald's. Not a McMuffin. What you need is you need a sausage, egg, and English muffin sandwich with cheese. Good. Blanca Balls just hit me $2. Says your Street Fighter stream is always fun. Last Friday you were super relaxed. Fun Bison Balrog games. You made that Bison. You gave the Bison props and it was good. I really like the chill vibe. Lag's always there, but it was still fun. Seems like you're living in the moment. So he's talking about yesterday. Yesterday's Street Fighter stream was very hit or miss. And what I mean by that is there was a really good Bison player that I enjoyed playing, and we were having really good matches, and I was trying to learn rather than me worrying about, oh, let me pick a character I know I can dominate this match with and you know, steamroll through this guy. I was picking matchups that I didn't know. And actually enjoying myself because the Bison player I was playing was quite good, and I was trying to learn. The problem was last night the connections were like really bad, like constant dropped inputs, constantly. I couldn't even get matches consistently. I think that was probably one of the records for me trying to play the Street Fighter collection, and the game's just not working, just crapping out before they even started. Just not a good experience. I was very disappointed because usually it's not that bad. Usually we have some lag in the matches, but man, it was just not very good. All right, but I give props to that Bison player. He was quite good. Like I said, I actually really enjoyed playing him because I was trying to learn matchups, and we had some really close ones and fun ones. So I hope I can find that guy again. I just hope that we can get a better connection than last night because that was just atrocious. So thank you, Blanca Balls. You're the top tipper of the day. $2 tip. I appreciate that. Timbo Slice Chaser, what's the brand of cheese you advise you use instead of Kraft Singles? It doesn't matter. There's many different brands that do it. As long as it says real American cheese on it, that's what you need. And a lot of the times they call it deli-style cheese. That's the better one. I mean, Kraft does it. Kraft actually does have it. But there's other brands. I just buy the store brand. But you can get all different ones. There's a really good cheese place out here called Tillamook. That's local to the Pacific Northwest. They have crazy good cheese, but it's actually really expensive because it's like the highest quality possible. But yeah, it's not a specific brand. I just get the store brand, but you just get the deli sliced, and that's the good stuff. Okay. Hygienic streamer tips. The 105-bit cheers. Do you think dreams have meaning? It depends. People have studied dreams for many, many generations. Hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. Some people... What the hell? What am I doing? I was using the wrong keyboard. Wow, I'm an idiot. I was actually thinking about the answer to the question so intently that I tried to use my laptop to change the leaderboard when it's the wireless keyboard that actually changes the stuff. That was really funny. Anyway, some people have the thought process that dreams are really kind of like your subconscious coming out, and sometimes your dreams would be your worst fears or your greatest desires. Sometimes your dreams are just like pent-up emotions and stuff. Then again, some people have really, really fucked up dreams. It's like, some people have dreams like someone's trying to kill me and stuff. Do you really think that that's what people want to think about in their subconscious? Of course not. So, who knows really? Some people think that dreams actually have meaning, like they tie into the supernatural or the spirit world or something like that. Everyone has a different opinion on it. My opinion is they must have some bearing on something in reality, or I think it probably does have to do with your subconscious, like things you're afraid of. Why would you be dreaming about someone coming to kill you? Because probably you have a fear of that in real life, so it pops up in your subconscious and you have a nightmare about it. You see? That'll be my guess, but who knows? I'm no scientist. So, hygienic streamer tips. Did another 50-bit cheer and said, I had a dream last night you flew in through my windows while I was sleeping like a beautiful angel. That is the worst nightmare I've ever heard. I'm really sorry about that, dude. You might have to speak to someone. You might have to get some counseling on that, because once you've experienced that, you're probably not going to bounce back. You might actually need some serious help, all right? I apologize wholeheartedly. Hormesis did a 50-bit cheer. Said, I've been watching your stuff for years since Dead Space. How about border changes for Tier 3 or wearing different hats or challenges to do in game? Keep up the good work. Well, like I said, the hats sadly wouldn't work. You can't wear a hat with headphones on. And it probably wouldn't be safe for me to heat myself up in this office putting on hats. Border changes, I'd like to hear more about that. Like, what do you mean by that exactly? Border changes. Not sure what you mean. Challenges to do in game. See, that would be highly dependent on the game. I'm sure there's some games where, for example, if I'm playing Street Fighter, oh, well, if we hit the tips goal, he has to do this certain thing in the game. He has to win with only punches, or, he has to win with a certain character or something, right? But for most games where I'm doing like a standard playthrough, like today I'm doing Avengers. What challenges could I do in Avengers? I'm playing through the story, right? You guys want to see me beat it, so obviously we don't want to delay that. Oh, Phil, I'll try to beat the stage with only heavy attacks. Well, now it takes me 2 hours to beat a 5-minute stage. I don't think that's not very conducive to an entertaining stream or moving through a playthrough. You see what I mean? So I would say it's probably dependent on the game itself, where we could maybe do stuff like that, right? So I guess, good. Thank you for the suggestions. If you could elaborate on the border one, I'd like more info on that. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Thank you for the cheer. Let's see. Nose Vacuum cheer. I said, Phil, the connection sucks every week with Street Fighter. Why are you still playing the game? I've already explained this a million times. I grew up playing classic Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 is my favorite, but 3 and Alpha 3, I'll play them. And they're the best fighting games they're the fighting games I'm the best at. Let's put it that way. Out of all fighting games I've played over the years, those are the ones I'm the best at. I said the only other one I'm really good at is Marvel vs. Capcom 1. I was also quite good at Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but those games are dead. Those games aren't played anymore, okay? So, that being said, I love playing these games, and there's really the only viable way for me to play these games is this collection, even though it's laggy and has issues. Now, you might argue, well, there's Fightcade on the PC, and a lot of people play that. Yes, you're correct. There's Fightcade on the PC. Number one, it's rampant with cheating. People constantly use macros and program stuff to completely cheat. It's not even viable. It's not competitive. It's broken and stupid and a waste of time. Number two, Fightcade runs the same broken versions of emulated games as this collection anyway. So you're not even getting any increase into the gameplay. It's still the wrong versions and everything. Maybe the only better thing you'd get is a slightly better connection. But that's totally not a balance for people cheating with macros. Just think about this. People on PC literally have programmed special moves to be a button. So they could just mash a button and hope that a Shoryuken blows through everything you're doing every time you play the game. What's the point of playing? There's none. It's a waste. So, yeah, I'm definitely not playing Fightcade. This really, sadly, the collection is the only real viable way for me to play. Until they make another collection. Now, remember, this collection is 2.5 years old. In another two years, it's the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter. Maybe they'll make a 35th anniversary collection, and that one will be worth a shit. Because this one really was not. This one really was a box job, a rushed money grab. And it sucks that that's just what it is, but I would love to play better versions of these games online, for sure. So there's your answer. Dutch guy to be $2. And he says, the best cheese is Dutch cheese. That's a fact. I'm just kidding. Of course, some Italian cheeses are also very good. I like cheese of all different kinds. I think that the only cheese I don't like is like those disgusting gooey cheeses with mold and shit in them. Like blue cheese and shit like that. I don't want that. That's disgusting. Give me so many different good kinds of cheese without the freaking mold all over it, right? Thank you for the $2 tip, Dutch guy. I appreciate that. We're up to $5 in tips now. Timbo Slice cheers. I truly feel 2020 is the year the world is changing. First COVID, then riots, now crazy weather. Hottest weather in a long time in Southern California with wildfires on the West Coast. A day after being in the 90s, Denver had a foot of snow the next day this past week. The whole climate thing, I mean, obviously is being accelerated by humans, but this happens to the planet naturally. Over time, the climate shifts back and forth and back and forth. And the planet actually experiences waves of increasing temperatures, and then it has an ice age. This is just a natural thing that happens to the planet. But I'm not saying that climate change isn't happening. It absolutely is. The human beings are having a monstrous impact on the acceleration of climate change on our planet. So, yeah, it's funny because just between when I was a kid and now, so that's what, 30 years? In 30 short years on this planet, I have seen concrete weather changes. I talk to my parents every day and they're like, yeah, we can't believe how different it is now than when you were a kid. How the weather was so different back then. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. This has been one hell of a fucking year. This has been one hell of a fucking year. It's just like crazy thing after crazy thing after crazy thing. You know, it's like I said. I wouldn't be. I'm not even kidding. I know you might think I'm sounding facetious or I'm kidding. If fucking aliens landed on this planet tomorrow, I would be like, makes sense. With everything else that's happened this year, makes sense. Retro Jim cheered and said Marvel Avengers seems kind of bad. I would say not bad, but very generic. Like, for example, the intro sequence was quite good. And the intro sequence you're playing is all the Avengers. You have a boss fight against Taskmaster, right? It's fun stuff. Now, here we are, 7+ hours into the game. There hasn't even been a second boss fight. You notice that? There has not been a second boss fight. We've only unlocked 3 of the Avengers. And even then, it's been like you play one mission with each, and then you go on to the next. It just doesn't seem to me like the game has that much to it. Like, it seems like it was an idea, and they did the very bare bones what they could do with that idea, and didn't really go much further. And if the game really is only 15 hours long, I mean, you know, I guess we'll see. But I don't know. I'm honestly not expecting too much more out of it. Generic enemies over and over, a few basic puzzles, and each Avenger having some unique abilities. I get the feeling we're going to play as Black Widow for like one more stage. Then we'll probably have a stage where you can choose whoever you want. Then we'll probably unlock Thor, play as him as a stage. Then probably choose whoever you want. Then the Captain America, and that's probably the end, you know? So, I don't know. I'm not really expecting too much more. Retro Jim did 100-bit cheers. So would you consider going back to other fighting games from time to time in place of Street Fighter? Here's the thing. I've explained this as well. I've already answered this question so many times, but I'll do it again. There's no other game, fighting game, that I have enough experience in that I think that would be worth anyone's time. For example, if I went back to Tekken right now, I haven't played Tekken in like 2 years. I would lose every match. I don't know anything about the matchups. I don't know anything about the new characters they put into it. The rebalance. I heard they massively rebalanced the game. I wouldn't know any of that. You know, I'd be starting from square fucking one again. The difference between a game like Fall Guys or a game like Call of Duty versus fighting games is as follows. Fighting games require an intense amount of concentration, practice, and knowledge in order to excel in. Alright? When you see someone who's really good at fighting games, you gotta give them props because they really spend a lot of time getting that to that level. The only game exception to that would be Street Fighter V, which is a piece of donkey shit. You can learn it in 5 minutes. But outside of that, fighting games are tough. Okay? And I just don't have the amount of time, for example, to invest in any fighting game to get to a level where it would be fun to play outside of Street Fighter. So when a new fighting game comes out, like, you know, Mortal Kombat 11 or whatever, I'll play it for launch week. I'll play it another week or two after that, checking out the different characters, the DLC expansions, all of that stuff, okay? But, strong but here, okay? After that, once people start getting to the high-level shit and they learn the meta of the game and this is how it's played at a high level, that's kind of where I tap out and I move on. Because I don't have the time to invest in a fighting game to learn that stuff and to be practicing it constantly to get the muscle memory to pull off the combos and do this and do that. Okay? Alright? So, that being said, I don't really know how I could play fight. Like, right now, please go play Mortal Kombat 11, Phil. I'd get bodied constantly. I'd lose every match. I don't remember it. I seriously don't remember the gameplay of the game. I don't remember the characters who I liked and I was playing with. And to just play it as a one-off session, it would just be a waste of everybody's time. The difference between Street Fighter is, with Street Fighter, I played Street Fighter in arcades for 15 years. Then I played it competitively on consoles for about 5 years. So I've got roughly, between 15, 20 years of experience under my belt playing Street Fighter. So I can usually jump in. I could usually jump in and play any Street Fighter game at least a semi-decent level. And even if I don't even know what's going on in the fucking game, I have like a basic understanding of Street Fighter gameplay that I could at least play at a decent level. I'm not saying that it would ever be pro level again, but you know, at least I kind of know the ins and outs of what I'm doing. You see, but what other fighting game would I play? Forget Dragon Ball FighterZ. Forget it. I would get dominated completely. I get one hit killed every match because I haven't played in so long. I don't know how to block anything. Tekken. I'd get fucking juggled constantly. I wouldn't know what beats what. I'd just be counter hit constantly, get destroyed. That's the thing. With fighting games, you really need to stay on top of them. You need to be practicing constantly. If you're away from a fighting game for a month, you could miss out on so much knowledge. Now you can't even play it again. That's how it is with fighting games. So that's why you haven't seen me play any other fighting games or whatever, you know. Timbo Slice Cheery said, if they announced the pre-orders going live right away on Wednesday, would you take a break from the stream to pre-order the things to make sure you get what you want? I'd hate to have you wait until after the stream. Yeah, of course. What would happen is, let's say they say, pre-orders are live right now. All right. Fair enough. I will try to pre-order. I'll have to see where can I pre-order, because I did sign up via the Sony site. Remember they put out that page for it or whatever? I did sign up for that through my PlayStation account to be on the list for pre-ordering through Sony, but I haven't heard back since then. I don't think anyone has. They didn't, you know, they're not open yet. They haven't updated it. So I don't know if Sony would select me and contact me and say, okay, you can pre-order through us now, or if I need to go right to Amazon, you know, and get it. If I get it through Amazon, I got Amazon Prime, so I can just get the immediate free quick shipping, and that would be perfect probably. But yeah, if they announce immediate pre-orders, I would do it. Here's the thing though, I don't know if Sony's gonna live up to their word, but Sony did say that they were basically going to announce it ahead of time. They wouldn't just drop it on everyone. Okay, that's what Sony said. They could be lying, but they did say, we're not just going to open pre-orders immediately out of the blue and how people get screwed. We're going to announce the date when it's going to happen so that you can prepare to be ready. Okay? So, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. You know, what's going to happen. I don't think pre-orders are going to open on Wednesday. I think we're going to have a big event announcing the consoles, announcing the pricing, and then saying, okay, pre-orders open on this date. But I don't think it's actually going to happen live right then. Okay. Retro Jim Cheers, I don't think the next gen consoles are going to be ready. Not having enough reason to own at launch because software is lagging behind. I mean, and undoubtedly that's true, because this happens every console generation. You get a new console that's revealed and released, and the launch lineup is kind of pathetic. PS5, at the very least, okay, PS5 has a lineup, I'd say probably of about 5 games that'll be fun. Whether it's Spider-Man Miles Morales, whether it's Bug Snacks, right? Or other, you know, I'd say there's probably about maybe 5 things for PS5 that'll be interesting to check out at launch. Now, I'm not saying that these are system sellers, nor am I saying these are even going to be good games. I'm just saying there will be new stuff to try out on PS5 at launch. In addition, one of the things that's going to be very interesting is a lot of the games that are coming out in the next couple of months, all are going to offer free upgrades on the PlayStation 5. Avengers is one of them. Avengers said if you buy for the current gen console, you'll get a free upgrade for the next gen in a couple of months. So I'm playing Avengers now, right? In 2 months, I might be able to re-download this game on PS5 and play it in better quality and see what the different, do direct comparison of what the difference is, right? So that'll definitely be interesting to see how one game performs on one console versus the next. Is there actually going to be a significant difference and a reason to say, man, I really wanted to upgrade my console right away because look at that significant difference in the graphics, right? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out, right? I would say, if you take a look at PS5 versus Xbox Series S and X, the PS5 at least has a few exclusives you're going to want to play. Godfall and stuff, you know? The Xbox does not. The Xbox literally has nothing. All the things that are going to be on the new Xbox Series S and X are also on the original Xbox One. So you don't need to upgrade at all. You know, you really don't need to upgrade. There's no rush to buy the Xbox Series X unless you were already going to get a new console upgrade, you know? So, that's my take on it anyway. CM Fool is here to me $2 and wants to know the story of Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm sorry, CM Fool. We're not going to go into that again this morning, but I thank you very much for the $2 tip, and I say welcome to the stream. How you doing? Okay, guys. It's time for a quick break. I got to use the bathroom. So, thank you for your support this morning. Let me go use the bathroom. When I come back, I'll update the leaderboard with things like the subscriptions, and we'll get started here with Avengers, okay? So, thanks. I'll be back in a few minutes, and I'll play some music for you, and I'll see you in a sec. Thanks.